Hello, everyone. This is Consultant. I really hate making videos like this, but in the current situation, I've deemed it necessary. You may all be aware of the Mango Pango situation, and if you're not, the video that I made regarding him is linked in the description. I have wanted nothing more than to be able to stop talking about this whole situation, but it's become apparent that that's not an option anymore. I can't, in good conscience, let someone like this fly under the radar in our community. I was under the impression that Mango Pango was gone. I mean, I had a feeling he would return eventually, but I was keeping my guard up in the meanwhile. Mango then returned under the guise of a channel named Pome Noggan, Pome Noggan being an anagram for Mango Pango, which is something that I didn't figure out until later. Mango, under the guise of Pome Noggan, went into my server, the Senkai server, and immediately told me he was seeking voice actors. Now, this was a tad suspicious to me, but I approached the situation with caution, first offering a collaboration with myself in order to verify whether or not he was someone I felt safe working with. Now, to clarify, this is what I do with all of my collaborations. I have them work with me first, like as an individual, and then I bring them onto the Senkai team. The process ended up going really smoothly, and it went completely without a hitch for a little while. But then he slipped up. To an unrelated dispute in the server with somebody who was unhappy, who felt like they weren't being treated fairly, Pome Noggan intervened in the discussion and in one of my mod's attempts to quell the situation and agreeing with the unhappy server member. He stated that the server was anything but lighthearted from the bits of rumors that he's seen. And whenever I inquired what they meant by that, and I clarified that we had been dealing with a lot of drama recently, but otherwise we were pretty lighthearted. He claimed he's seen a bunch of screenshots and looked at the messages, and that the drama seemed to only be coming from my server, the Senkai server, which immediately raised my red flags, given how, after Mango said he wouldn't interact with any minors anymore, I was rather laissez-faire in the whole thing. I only stepped in when I needed to. And this whole thing seemed really defensive and just kind of suspicious to me. So after a quick discussion with my staff, in which we all colloquially agreed that this was hella suspicious, I DM'd Pome, wanting to test my theory, and I told him that their messages in my server were really suspicious, and that for the moment that we were canceling our collaboration. He was apologetic, and I explained the gravitas of the Mango situation, hoping that it would elicit some sort of reaction, to see if he was associated with Mango, because I didn't think he was Mango at this point. I just thought he was associated. And elicit a reaction I did, because he then proceeded to go on a rant about the rumors he had heard, which is the exact same thing to do he had whenever he attempted to provoke me under an alt called Genghis Khan. He told me how I self-inserted myself into the situation and claimed to be a victim. However, this is a take I've only heard from Mango and nobody else, because anybody who actually knows the situation knows that I never claimed to be a victim. I just, felt guilty and responsible for what happened. Honestly, this was almost all I needed, him defending himself like this. So I made one last push to elicit a reaction by telling him the truth, that I never claimed to be a victim and that anyone who's watched the video knows that. And yet again, like a fly to a honeypot, he angrily responded that he did watch my video and that I only defended myself and all I did was attack the guy, calling him a pedophile and any other clever insult imaginable. Honestly, this was all I needed to confirm my suspicions that this was indeed Mango, and thus I closed my DMs with him and proceeded to ban and block him from the server. After our discussion, the Pome Noggan channel didn't post or make any updates or anything, And in the meantime, me and my staff figured out some key details that point to this very obviously being Mango. First being that Pome Noggan is, an anagram for Mango Pango, which honestly is the most damning thing to me. And it just kind of fits in line with Mango being unable to just abandon the community and move on. And also, according to the dates in the screenshots, this conversation occurred at 11 a.m. CST, and he claims that it is 1 a.m. where he is. Now, if you coordinate the time zones and just get a feel for the general area of which the time zones would be 1 a.m. converted from CST, it's an Australian time zone. And what do we know about Mango Pango? Australian. And I find that way too convenient to just be a coincidence. Now, I also did a research of my own. I went to the Pome Noggan Social Blade. I copied the channel user ID, and I pasted it into Google. And what do you get from that? You get a old channel called Pixel Storm, which is seemingly a Minecraft gaming channel. And when I clicked on the link, it led me back to Pome Noggan. Now, this was probably one of Mango's old accounts, because Mango plays a lot of Minecraft, which, it's a common game, so that could be wrong, but it was very obviously repurposed into what is now Pome Noggan. Not to mention that Pome Noggan's Discord account was created April 13th, which is around the same time that the whole Mango Pango thing began to die down. And Pome claims that he doesn't voice in his videos, and he only edits. Not to mention that there are friends of Mango's in the Pome Noggan server and staff, like Maki Ligon, which is somebody that I banned from my server. Now, all of these factors aren't definitive proof, but they heavily lean to the fact that Pome Noggan is Mango Pango. And if, they don't, lean towards that, they, 100% confirm that he's associated with Mango Pango in some way. Now, I wasn't originally going to make anything on this. Mango's main channel rebranded into something called Squiddy, and I thought he was just moving away from Touhou content entirely and abandoning Pome Noggan. However, he ended up making an announcement in the Pome Noggan server, verbatim what he said as Mango, saying that Senkai Studios is lying about me and saying that I'm Mango Pango, and they're a bad server full of awful people. So that just kind of adds more fuel to the fire. Not to mention that, a day ago, Pome Noggan began posting again. So I decided, I might as well go ahead and move forward with this, because I need to warn people. I can't in good conscience let someone like this just roam scot-free in the community. Not to mention, the last time he left off, he was trying to recruit minors to his fucking voice acting project. And to you, Mango, please just stop trying to worm your way back into Touhou. If you had given up at Touhou and rebranded elsewhere, I would have left you alone. And I've said that multiple times. Don't even try that strategy of slandering me again. The people you took those screenshots from didn't even give you permission to use them. You teamed up with a loser with a grudge who gave you those screenshots that are full of outdated and out-of-context information for you to try and fail to slander me. Please, for your own sake, just give up, because I won't.